Yeah, good afternoon and good morning, good citizens. This is the Stephen and Cecelia TV show. Today I have a special guest, and his name is Jake, and he's here to talk about his program yeah, with the kids. And you're welcome, yeah, Jake. How are you?
Thanks, Steve. I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Um, you know, we met in the hallway during one of the gay filmings, and it was very interesting to find out that you work with gay kids and trying to tell them about life and everything. And I just want to know more about it and how it got started.
Okay, that's a great question. Thanks for asking that. Part of the arc of my life was that I was fortunate to have met a woman named Flo Creed back in 1990, and she became my second wife.
Oh, wow.
And she was a phenomenal human being. She was born in the Deep South in 1946 during the time of Jim Crow. So there was colored and white water, colored and white places to sit, and restaurants to eat in.
Yeah.
And when she was 6 years old, she went up to her mother, who was picking cotton, because she came from a huge family, where her grandparents had 14 children.
Wow.
So they had to do a lot to make money.
I was the only child in my family, so.
So you didn't have to pick cotton.
No,
Oh, that's good. So her mother said, no daughter of mine's going to pick cotton. So go in the house with Grandma Emma. So little Flo went inside the house of Grandma Emma, whose favorite TV show was Perry Mason. So when I met Flo, she had acquired so much of the wisdom from her grandmother about how to live life with discipline and love and courage. And she was already a lawyer and a sergeant detective in the Boston Police Department. So I married up.
Wow.
She was quite a woman. And so we had wonderful 16 years together. And unfortunately, she passed away on her birthday, virtually 20 years ago, a week ago Sunday.
Wow, God bless her.
And yeah, she was incredible. And she
You know,
mentored a lot of people.
People like that come from the deep South, they come into a whole brand new mindset. When they're there in the deep South, they get like, they have to hide food. They have to look to where their next meal is coming from. Is the person who's doing the people that are running the plantations, are they nice to them? Are they gonna whip them? You know, I hear bad things, but I have 4 daughters, and they're from like North Carolina, and their great grandparents were slaves back in the day of the Civil War, during the time of Yakuna Kente,
Okay.
during that time
Right.
frame. Yeah, so
Right.
their great.
So their roots go way back.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
gotcha. Yeah.
and my daughters didn't know any of their background until they did the ancestry, DNA, and they found out how far back they went.
Yeah. That's
And it's amazing how those people back then, in endured so much pain, so much suffering, to like your wife coming from the deep South. That must have been, for her, that must have been a relief to find a way to get away from all that.
Well, her parents, she had one brother.
Okay.
You know, she didn't have a big family, or immediate family. So they moved up to Boston when she was 8 years old. And it was different. Boston was still a racist city. You know.
Really?
Oh, big time. big time back in the 50s, 60s, even 70s
Oh, all right.
and 80s, but hopefully things have gotten better.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately she passed away, but 2 years later, because you asked me how we started this, I wanted to do something to honor Flo.
Okay.
So in her memory, we started the Flo Creed Jacobson Initiative. And that was in 2007. It started off with 5 people, with my son and her son and 2 police officers. And from there it segued to doing something else. In 2012, we started a new board, and we've been just moving along since. And for the last 6 years, we've been teaching something called mindfulness. And the benefits of mindfulness are basic. There's 4 basic benefits.
Okay.
Based on our program. So we teach people confidence, optimism, resilience, and self-awareness. And with the adults in rehab centers, I've been working with them for 6 years. We have 29 different lessons that all help people to know more who they are, how to find more resolve, more resilience in life, how to self-regulate more. And with the children, we have 17 lessons that's geared for them.
Now, what are the ages of the kids?
Elementary school.
Does it work on up to like, you say elementary, but does it go past that? Does it go to like elementary, junior high? Does it?
We've done some work at the junior high school level, and we find that we get the biggest bang for the buck working with the younger children. Talking about, former enslaved people, Frederick Douglass, who most people have heard of. Yeah. He has a wonderful quote, and the quote is, it's much easier to grow strong children than to fix broken adults.
True.
Yeah. So the earlier you start, the better. And I've heard children teach their parents, So, and the reason that I knew this was the right thing to do, for years I volunteered in the Boston Public Schools, and I work with, again, 2nd and 3rd graders, and it's an old school called the Nathan Hale School.
Okay.
It was built in 1909, 3 years before Fenway Park.
Oh, wow.
So it was an old building, and there was one boy I worked with, his nickname was EJ. So it's okay to mention his nickname, I'm sure. And I worked with him 2 or 3 times, but he would sit there. We mostly worked on math. That's the area we worked on. But every time somebody walked by, whether the person had on high heels and they made noise, or they had on sneakers, he'd always look up and follow them. And the math problem he was working on, 3 + 2, he'd have to start all over again.
Oh, geez, yeah.
So by the 2nd or 3rd time I worked with him, I said, EJ, have you ever heard of meditation? And he said, yes, I have. I said, can you tell me what it is? He said, I can't tell you what it is, but I can show you. So he put his hands in his lap, sat up straight, relaxed his shoulders, closed his eyes, and just sat there and breathed in and out for about 2 or 3 minutes. And after about 2 or 3 minutes, I said to him, EJ, do you want to keep going, or is that long enough? So intuitively understood that the question was based on, can you focus now? Did what you just do help you put you in a better receptive state so you can concentrate? He said, yes, I'm ready. So for the next half hour, he didn't glance up once, no matter how much noise was made. He was able to, I said, would you like to try to add, because I could see that he was focusing, and I asked him, would you like to add 20,000 plus 20,000? As a 1st grader, he said, there's no way I can do that. I said, let's try it anyway. So I just wrote out the numbers, draw the line, put in the commas, and I showed him how to do it. And he couldn't believe that he added 20,000 plus 20,000, which is 40,000. And he went around all day telling the teachers, all his friends, that he could do that. And he was all pumped up. And the reason I know that is because his mother was a librarian, and she came to me at the end of the day and asked me, Mr. Jacobson, my son's so excited. How did he learn Dad, 20,000 plus 20,000. He's telling all his friends and all the teachers. And I simply said, I asked him if he could meditate, and he showed me how. She said, he does? I take him to the beach every summer, and I work with his two older sisters, and we meditate, and he just sits there and plays with his trucks, and I never think he's listening. I said, apparently he was.
Well, you see, that's something I should start to do, because after the end of a grueling day for me, it's like I go home, I turn on the TV, and I just listen to music, and then I'm back at it again. I'm so anxious. I want to get things done.
Right.
And I never take time for myself, because I'm always helping their neighbors. I'm always running errands for them, because they can't. I don't think I've ever had time for myself to sit there and just say, all right, I gotta mellow out. I gotta think of a way to comprehend get the whole complete day and put what just happened aside.
Right.
I gotta figure out some meditation. And I never find the time, I never find the energy.
Okay.
And sometimes I come in here and I forget what I'm here for. And then it's like, I get reminded, oh, wait a minute, I got a show today.
Yeah, well, you sound like you're a really good person,
And
helping your neighbors like you do.
well, this show here keeps me grounded.
You named the show in memory of your grandmother. You
Yeah,
told
I
me.
named it after my grandmother. Her family came over to Ellis Island when she was about 7. She has 14 brothers. There's only one girl, and the rest are all boys.
Wow.
Yeah. She was the oldest. My uncle, her brother, Henry, is the second. The other brothers died when they were young, so I never got to meet them. But my grandmother's side of the family were all strict Italians. You said something wrong, you get disciplined, either with the ruler or with a cast iron skillet, or maybe even a rolling pin.
Or maybe they won't give you sausages with your pasta.
Right. But my grandmother was always working. My uncle was part owner of the Planters Peanuts. My aunt owned Leachmere Sales, one of the biggest stores in the
Oh,
world.
yeah, I remember that.
My grandmother owned Dunnington drug stores, in the Rex drug stores. And my grandmother used to always say, to be somebody, you got to learn. I said, Grandma, what do you mean? Watch what I do. Don't act on it. Don't say anything until you get the point. I said, what do you mean? Learn to control your mind. Because she had a way of doing it. I don't know how. By the end of the day, she'd be like sitting in her bed, just like with her eyes shut.
Right.
I'm like, what are you doing? And after 15 minutes, I'd be like, what was that? Oh, I cleared in my mind of everything that just happened today. It gives me a sense of direction. It brings me back down to earth. Instead of me jumping at uncle, your uncle, I can take that anger and I can push it aside. I said, You got to teach me this. She goes, Steve, you're too damn old.
Wow.
And
But you saw that she could do it.
yeah,
So just like anything else.
because you have to have patience in being Italian. There's no patience in the household. I mean, everyone's running rampant. Everyone's doing their own thing around the holidays. Everyone's speaking their own languages.
Yeah, right.
And
So this is your grandmother you're talking
yeah,
about. And so your grandmother had the answers and how to process information.
right.
How to accept things, it sounds like, right?
Oh yeah, she was a businesswoman. It took
Smart,
her.
smart woman.
Yeah, very
So
smart.
she's smart up here, but she was also smart in her heart.
Yeah.
So she could integrate.
It's
And that's what mindfulness meditation can help people with.
But I
And you
never
talk-
seen her do it until towards the end of her life. What it was, she had triple bypass surgeries,
Right.
and I would see her coming home, instead of getting all nerved up over something, I'd be watching her and she'd be like, eyes are shut. Her breathing got erratic at times, and then it kind of calmed down, and I'm like, does that work? She goes, yeah, it works.
Okay.
I said,
Well, if you ever want to learn meditation,
But-
I can share some ideas with you off the show at
Okay.
a different time.
all right. And so I kind of picked up on her stuff, and once in a while I'll sit at home, I'll turn down the sound of the TV. I have a little thing in my bedroom that plays like sounds of the ocean and the raindrops and
Does that help?
And I'll be sitting there and I'll be just like in my wheelchair and I'm like, my eyes are shut. And I'm just like listening to the drops of the rain. And it's like, after the whole thing is done, I'm like, that was good. Now, what was I going to say today? My mind was all cleared and
And relax, so you're
yeah,
able to.
and I was able to get relaxed and I never knew what the meditation was until my grandmother started it. She started it towards the end of her life because of all her trials and tribulations with her heart problems and her diabetes.
What was your grandmother's name?
Her name was Cecelia. Cecelia Ananzi. Ananzi's Italian, and it's spelled capital V-E-A, capital V-E-N-A-N-Z-I.
Okay.
And my uncle was Parmigiano. So Parmigiano and Gibananzi, you're looking at Italian straight across the
Straight
board.
across the board, yeah. It sounds like Rocky Marciano's real name, Matrigiano.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
same thing.
I did a segment with Peter Marciano about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, he's still with us. Great. I met him
Yeah,
in
he's
2012.
84. He's 84.
Great. I'll have to look at that episode.
Yeah, I met him. I did an interview with him over at the childhood home. And it was so wonderful.
Yeah. Talked about his brother Rocky.
I said to him, Peter, this show is about you in the family. I want you to go back to the humble beginnings, to when your great-grandparents came over, to when your mom and dad came over, to when they get married, to when they had all the kids. So we put a mic on them and we just let them talk. And the history behind the family was amazing. By the time I got done, I walked away with the knowledge of what real Italians endured when they first came over.
Right.
And it was like working in a shoe factory, the Stacey Adams, with all the dust and dirt, and how the grandfather and how the great-grandfather and the father and Peter and Yesani and Gibrocco, they all served in the service, all of the men they
Right.
served. And it was amazing that Peter could remember all that.
Yeah. Well, he lived it.
And it's amazing that he went right through it all. By the end of the show, I looked at him and I said, Peter, you know, for a man your age and for your stature, I said, I got to applaud you. You remembered anything. He goes, well, my sister, Alice, has got dementia. I guess his one sister is still living, and she's so bad off that he was going to bring her to the house, but it wouldn't have been really feasible because she's
Right.
really bad. But you look at that side of the Italian family, and I asked them straight out. I said, "Do you guys? Yeah, did you guys ever meditate? Did you ever guys ever after a long day? Did you ever have a room of where you could be quiet?" He said, "Yeah, dinner time."
Dinner time.
Dad wanted every one of the kids at the table, and he wanted complete silence. That was our only silent time.
Right. So.
Because everything else was baseball parks and
That's
the
right.
James Egger playground. And
Right. Yeah. I have every book. I've got like 4 books on Marciano, Rocky Marciano.
you
He's
know,
quite a character. So, was your grandmother a positive person?
yes, a positive one. Me, but when it came to business, she was all hyped up.
She was all business.
Yeah, she was all business. There was no beating around the bush.
So, do you like humor?
She had her humor. Oh yeah, she had humor.
Do you have a sense of humor?
I have a sense of humor, and I also have a side of me where I'm a practical joker.
Would you like to hear a joke?
Sure.
So, this is about optimism versus pessimism.
Okay.
So, when I hear about people from our previous generation or generations, it fills my heart because, without them, we wouldn't be here.
Absolutely.
So the story goes like this. There were 2 farmers, Steve, both living next to each other. They had big spreads of land. And there was one farmer that was very positive and one that was very negative about almost everything. Mm-hmm. So whenever it rained, the positive farmer said, "Oh, that's wonderful. It's raining, the crops will do well. They'll have rain, the root system will absorb all the water and the nutrients from the ground, and we'll have a great season." Well, the negative farmer said, "Oh my God, if it rains too many days in a row, the roots will rot and we'll be ruined." When the sun came out, the positive farmer said, "Oh my God, photosynthesis." He was always thinking about the positives. Mm-hmm. "We'll have a great crop. My kids will go to the best schools. I'll be able to buy them clothes when they need it, put food on the table, put money in the bank." The negative farmer, of course, said, "If we get too many days in a row of sun, it'll dry everything out and we'll be ruined." So even though they were different, they were friends. And one day they went for a walk, and the positive farmer had a bird dog. And so it came to a pond, and he said to his friend, "Mr. Negativity," he said, "Watch this, you won't believe this." So he picked up a stick, he threw it about 25 feet out in the pond, and the dog ran out on top of the water, never got wet, picked up the stick, turned around, came back, he dropped the stick, his tail was wagging. Positive farmer was, "What'd you think of that? Wasn't that something?" The negative farmer crossed his arms like this and said, "Just as I thought, he can't even swim." So
cute.
we know people in both categories, don't we?
Yeah. My grandmother would say she'd try to do a joke or try to say a joke, and it always came out wrong. And I was like, oh, we got to roll it up.
Okay. So can I give you one definition for mindfulness?
Sure.
Since one of the reasons I was here is to talk a little bit about that. This is what we teach the children. Mindfulness is being right here, right now,
Yep.
with a sense of kindness for ourselves and others. And that's what we teach the children and the adults as well. So you just being present,
Yep.
you know.
Well, the way I keep my mindfulness, the way I keep my thoughts, the way I keep my everyday life is I don't let the bad things, stress get me out, because I know at the very end there's going to be some good stuff. So, like me, when I come here, get positive. I got the positiveness, I got the mindfulness, I got the awareness, and I got the peace of your mind. I'm doing something good. So
Nice.
this is a little something I do, Jake. This is a little certificate. That's my way of saying, thank you, and this is for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's is my way of.
Appreciate that, Steve.
That's my way of. This is my legacy in honor of my grandmother. I put her name. I put my name first, and then I put hers at the end because I should put the lady first, but I'm so used to writing it out that way. It's been. This is my way of honoring her.
That's a beautiful thing. You're honoring her spirit every time you come on the show.
Well, she gave everything for me after my real father died. When my mother died, she was there for my stepfather and I. And towards the end of her life, she gave everything she had to her family. And it was always, always in her mind and thoughts, I got to take care of the grandson. I was the only child anyway, so.
Right. Well, you named your show
After her. Yeah.
And I named our nonprofit after my wife.
Isn't that weird that we did the same thing?
Well,
In a way, you
As,
named your non-profit.
well, in my 20s, I thought everything was a coincidence. Now, in my later years, I think there are very few coincidences, Steve. We met for a reason.
Yeah. We met at the right time too. All right, folks.
thank you.
Well, you've heard from people today, and there's going to be more segments about these kind of things coming up, and we wish you all the best and happy Veterans Day Tuesday, and I will see you at the parade route. I'm going out with the cameras, gonna do some good questions, just like I did today in studio. So have a pleasant day, and goodbye from Community Access. Bye-bye.